What can you say about your guys on the mound? Obviously being Kirby and then Combs there at the end.
Yeah, they were great. I think the defense behind them was equal to the task, and obviously Kirby contributed to that defense. And Combs attempted to. I mean, he's one of our better guys when we mess around with that stuff for fun, or we get intent in practice with pitchers fielding practice. But that's a tough one. The crowd's amped up, and you're trying to pick up the ball and either tag the runner or the base at the same time. So it's squirrely, and I think it says a lot about his composure because he's got some adrenaline to him and the walkout song and all that stuff. But calm yourself with the fans on their feet. I mean, that was pretty fun there at the end. There was kind of dead moments in the game, and there were some moments in the game where the crowd was as rowdy as it gets. At least the ones that aren't at the Tim McGraw concert, and to kind of compose himself and get back up there, I think is big. And again, to throw the last out of a game and Kirby's done that, and we're starting to stack up some guys that can do that for us.
Yeah, why'd you like Combs in that situation there?
Just because we kind of had mapped it out, and Drew's a tough one because he's going to fight you for the ball, and then he's going to be the boy next door 3 seconds later and be the best teammate in the world and cordial. So it's a delicate balance, and also he's our guy. So you look smart for leaving him in against Alabama when it's not going well, and then other moments too, because he knows how to navigate his way through a game. But if we would have stuck to the original plan or the old go with your gut or what we had talked about in that corner, maybe they don't score any runs. So, so that occasion was not a fan of 2 nights in a row having to go out there with 2 outs and make a change for the last out. But it was kind of what we had mapped out for the rest of the game. And rather than have regrets, we went with it. And I think everyone standing here knows Kirby's capable of getting that guy out, but he's a really good hitter. And Combs is capable of getting him out too. He just couldn't put a pitchfork in that ball.
This is one of the better nights you guys have had defensively this season.
Yeah, KT's double play was crazy. Dean turned into Michael Jordan, or maybe Dalton Connect there for a minute. Cal with another great play and a good job on a pop-up. It was a good night defensively. And, I don't know if there's been, any better, but regardless, I think this is a staple win defensively leading the way. Last night, the Bats kind of led the way. And you talk about, I think you all led the conversation last night about how many different ways can your team win. And you're going to have to do that. You may play in different parks, different set of circumstances. A night like tonight where really good arm with Lunsford, but I mean, I would like to think he would admit he was on. I mean, standing there, I was like, how do we crack this code? He had all 3 pitches going really well, mix in our guys off balance a little bit. And based off our pregame, I was a little complacent, to be honest with you. I thought we were going to rock and roll, but he put a stop to that in a hurry with how good he was. And we're going to have to win games like that. We're an SEC weekend type starter, and it could be another league, is in his groove. And you don't have to win pretty. You just got to win ugly. I think a little bit, and maybe that came with the start of the year of doubts from the coaching staff. The one thing we felt good about was we had depth offensively, and we did have a lot of guys that were interchangeable at different positions. You guys talked a lot about who's going to play this spot or that spot, in particular on defense. And we're like, I don't know, but there's good options. But we didn't feel like, hey, defense and pitching, we're here to brag about it, even though we want that to be our strengths. And Coach Anderson does such a good job with those pitchers, it's become a strength. And I'm glad we won the game tonight. He's got family stuff he's attending to, relative, a little bit ill, and it's good he puts family first and goes and does that. So we're all thinking and praying about him. And I know Drew kind of said he was going to get it done in honor of Frank. So that's been the pitching piece. And then, defensively, I think guys have worked hard to prove that they're capable of playing their position. You only get one DH out there, and if you are the DH, you want to know that you can play defense maybe on the next given day.
Seems as he was working on his controller, trying to find it at some point in the game. Where do you think he can take the next step in his game?
I think he's established himself to be able to throw 4 pitches for a strike, and at this point, just not trying to get too cute. I don't know if he airmailed one on purpose or not, and he kind of giggled about it, and I just seen it. That's not, next pitch didn't go well. I don't think he's got to get too creative or too crafty at this point. I think he's, basically the brand that he's brought to the table is a strong one, and it's good enough. So he just needs to be himself, similar to a good hitter, on our team could go up and down the lineup. They don't need to go outside of themselves. He needs to be himself, and when he does, he's pretty good for us.
How nice to have a guy like Cal Stark on the plate who can get out of that bases loaded jam at that quick.
Yeah, no, that's huge because, the momentum's on their side a little bit, and you're looking to get an out any way you can. And he's done it in other situations too. So you're hustling to get to 27 outs as quick as you can. So you'll take them any way you can. But yeah, to get out of a jam like that, it relieves a little bit of stress off the pitcher, and it may carry some momentum into the next inning as well mentally for both those guys that are making up the battery. So we're very, very blessed. You talk about defense. The one thing we're quick to point out, and I guess me, when I'm answering your guys' questions, was that catching trio is pretty dang good.
Is that a call that comes from the dugout, or does Cal have?
No, that was on him and Blake Burke, working together, and sometimes it'll come from the dugout. But for him to have the confidence to really do that in any situation takes work, and it does take just that confidence, and he's got it. I mean, if we don't have him in the game, he's the best cheerleader we got, and we do have him in the game. We ask him to bunt. He's fully confident. Can swing the bat. We asked him to, take a pitch and basically try and get on base for Semo in that last at-bat. Well, he got on base by driving the ball, I hope, off the top of the fence. Anybody got anything different on that? Okay. I hope I didn't mess that up, because I messed up a couple other things tonight. So we can take down that graphic off Twitter, Sean.
It feels like you're in a pretty good position while all the lights going in tomorrow. Do you have a plan yet?
No, but I do like the fact that Snead, he's gone in bunches for us in pitches when he's had the one outing a week. And again, I've mentioned to you guys, he's always a guy like, I'm ready, and he's got some resiliency to his arm. But it's nice when he's fresh, and it's nice. Xander, we do have a shortened week, but we didn't stress him either. So those two guys, it's a comfortable feeling knowing that. And on the back end, those two kids we used tonight, Kirby, who's not a kid anymore, he's like 35, and Combs, they can help us on the back end, but we also have Phillips and Banky, who, to me, both guys now are finally healthy. They're in a rhythm where we've been using them, but they should be fresh for tomorrow. So probably leaving a couple guys out that we'll certainly have available down there to us, but it's nice to know that we kind of have that set up, and we're going to need it. We're facing their best arm, arguably, tomorrow with their starting pitcher, and I know they've got a couple guys that they haven't used yet either.
I think I saw a graphic that you just got your 100th SEC win.
The team did, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
How did that feel as a team win to get 100?
I kind of the same thing as the Blake Burke thing. I didn't know much about it till after the fact, so I guess to sound really corny, Mike Ditka says cowards live in the past. So we're trying to win tonight, and
How did 1-1 feel then?
ugly. Like I could have done a lot better job, and maybe I'm not the only one. But when you got guys like Drew Beam, they make you look smart. And again, I think we could have left him out there to finish the game. He's in good enough shape to do that. But we feel confident enough in guys like Ariel going to short. Dean can play short too, and that bullpen's ready to rock and roll. So I think where our focus is, and I'm kind of joking or being smart, Alec, but it's nice when there's accomplishments along the way that you hit, but I think the team has high ambitions, and we're just looking to become the best version of ourselves. And in pursuit of doing that, we've kind of opened up this again Rolodex of ways that we can win and people that we can win with, and it's nice to see that confidence growing. Because in the fall, everybody's talking too long, but in the fall, it's always, man, we got a lot of depth in pitching, we got a lot of depth in position players. And then as the season goes on, it's like, that guy's not doing very well. It's kind of going in the opposite direction than it usually goes. It's like, man, this guy pretty good in the bullpen. Now we can use him here. This guy's showing he can start, and then different ways position players are showing too. Colby Backus, all of a sudden we got a new weapon. So it's nice. It's growing instead of shrinking. No, did he?
What was your reaction to Blake's bat breaking earlier?
Yeah, it's a little scary there. We had a bat fly in our dugout too, so I didn't know where the baseball was, and I was worried about their first baseman, but also our base runner getting hit with the thing. So that's rare, but these guys take a million swings, and maybe that has something to do with it, with kind of beating that thing up. And he didn't look too happy about it. I don't know if it was new or his special, his, what's the movie? Wonder Boy bat, with Paul Newman or whoever the heck that was. But yeah, the natural. Is it Paul Newman?
Well, natural has the bat.
Yes. I got you. Robert Redford. Giddy up. Let's move on till tomorrow. Appreciate y'all.